This is Fluent English Journey Podcast.
From Speak English with Nora. Hey, Ethan. How's it going today?
Pretty good, Nora. Although I have to say, I'm a bit tired this morning.
Oh no. Late night?
Kind of. I had a meeting with my team in Tokyo at 9 p.m. my time. By the time we finished, it was almost 11.
Ah, the joys of working across time zones.
Exactly. You know what? That's actually a perfect topic for today's episode.
I was just thinking the same thing. Welcome back, everyone, to the Fluent English Journey podcast. I'm Nora.
And I'm Ethan. Today we're talking about something that affects millions of workers around the world, working across time zones.
Whether you're working with clients in different countries, managing a remote team, or just collaborating with colleagues on the other side of the world, time zones can be tricky.
They really can. But don't worry. We're going to share some practical tips and useful English expressions to help you navigate this challenge.
And as always, the full transcript and practice exercises are available in the description below, so make sure to download those after listening.
All right, let's dive in. Nora, can you share a time zone story from your experience?
Oh, absolutely. So a few months ago, I was working on a project with people from 3 different countries: the US, Brazil, and India.
Wow, that's quite a spread.
Tell me about it. Finding a meeting time that worked for everyone was like solving a puzzle.
Tell me about it. That's a great expression, by the way. It means I completely understand or I agree with you so much.
Right. It's super common in everyday English. Anyway, back to my story. We eventually found a time, but it meant some people had to join really early in the morning, and others had to stay up late.
That's the reality of global teamwork these days. You have to make compromises.
Exactly. Which brings us to our first big topic, finding meeting times that everyone can actually join.
This is honestly one of the hardest parts. When your teammate in Sydney is getting ready for bed, your colleague in London is having lunch, and you're just starting your morning coffee.
It's like trying to catch everyone at the same moment, you know?
I do. So here's a useful tip. Try to rotate meeting times. Don't always pick the time that's convenient for you.
That's such an important point. Rotate means to take turns or change regularly. So if this week the meeting works well for you but your teammate has to wake up at 5 a.m., next week maybe you take the early slot.
Fair is fair, right?
Absolutely. Another phrase we use a lot in this context is split the difference.
Oh, I like that one. Can you explain what it means?
Sure. Split the difference means to compromise, to find a middle ground where both sides give up something. For example, if I want to meet at 8 a.m. my time, but that's midnight for you, we might split the difference and meet at 10 a.m. my time, which is 2 a.m. for you.
Well, that's still pretty rough for me.
Ha! True. That's why rotating is usually better than splitting when time zones are really far apart.
Good point. You know what else helps? Being really clear about time zones when you communicate.
Oh, absolutely. This is so important. Let me give you an example of what not to do.
I love a good what not to do example.
Okay, so imagine you send an email that says, "Let's meet at 3 p.m. on Thursday." Sounds clear, right?
At first, yes.
But wait, 3 p.m. in which time zone? If you're in New York and your colleague is in Tokyo, 3 p.m. means completely different things.
Exactly. Your 3 p.m. is their 4 a.m. the next day.
Right. So the golden rule is always, always include the time zone. Say 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Or 3 p.m. New York time, if you want to be super clear.
Yes. And here's another tip. When you write the time, it's helpful to include what time that is for the other person, too.
Oh, that's really thoughtful. Can you give us an example?
Sure. Instead of just saying, "Let's meet at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time," you could say, "Let's meet at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time," which is 8 p.m. for you in London. That way, everyone knows exactly what you're talking about.
That saves so much confusion. No one has to pull out a time zone converter.
Exactly. Speaking of which, there are some amazing tools that make this easier.
Oh yeah, we should definitely talk about those. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever missed a meeting because of a time zone mix-up?
Oh, yes. It was so embarrassing. I thought the meeting was at 2 p.m. my time, but it was actually 2 p.m. their time, which was, I don't even remember, but I missed it completely.
We've all been there. It happens.
The worst part was, I only realized when someone sent me a message saying, "Hey, where are you?"
Ouch.
Yeah, but you know what? That taught me to be extra careful. Now I always double check.
That's the way to do it. Okay, so let's talk about tools that can help prevent these disasters.
Good idea. First up, calendar apps. Most modern calendar apps, like Google Calendar or Outlook, can display multiple time zones at once.
That's super useful. You can see your schedule and your colleague's schedule side by side.
Right. And when you create a meeting invite, the app automatically converts it to everyone's local time.
It's like having a personal assistant.
Pretty much. Another tool I love is World Time Buddy. Have you used that one?
Oh yeah, all the time. It's a website where you can compare multiple time zones visually.
Exactly. You can see what time it is right now in different cities, and you can slide through the hours to find a time that works for everyone.
It's really intuitive. Intuitive means easy to understand and use without much explanation.
Great word for our listeners to know. Another option is to use Slack or Microsoft Teams. These apps usually show what time zone each person is in.
Some even show whether it's working hours for that person or not.
Super helpful. You can tell at a glance, should I message this person now or should I wait?
Which brings us to our next topic, asynchronous communication.
Ooh, big word! Should we break that down?
Let's do it. Asynchronous means not at the same time. So asynchronous communication is when people send messages back and forth, but not in real time.
Like email, right?
Exactly. Or recorded video messages, voice notes, project management comments. Basically anything where you don't need an immediate response.
This is honestly a game changer when you're working across time zones.
Absolutely. Think about it. If your teammate in Singapore is asleep when you're working, you can't exactly call them with a question.
Right. But you can send them a detailed email or a message in Slack. Then, when they wake up and start their day, they can respond.
And the work keeps moving forward, even though you're never online at the same time.
It's kind of beautiful, actually. Work that never sleeps?
Ha! I like that. But here's the thing. To make asynchronous communication work well, you have to write really clear messages.
Oh, definitely. You can't just say, "Hey, quick question," and leave it at that.
Right, because by the time they see it and respond, "Sure, what's up?" you're already asleep.
Exactly. So instead, you need to provide all the information up front. Give context, ask your complete question, and maybe even suggest some options.
Can you give us an example of a good asynchronous message?
Sure. Instead of saying, "Can we talk about the design?" you might say, "Hi, I'm reviewing the homepage design you sent yesterday. I love the color scheme, but I'm wondering if we should make the font size bigger for better readability. What do you think? We could try 16 pixels or 18 pixels. Let me know your thoughts when you get a chance."
Perfect. That message includes everything: context, the specific issue, and even some suggestions.
Right, so when your teammate wakes up in their time zone, they can read it, think about it, and give you a complete answer.
No back and forth needed.
Exactly. And speaking of back and forth, let's talk about patience.
Oh, this is a big one.
It really is. When you're working across time zones, you have to be patient with response times.
I think this is something a lot of people struggle with at first.
Me too. Especially if you're used to working in an office where you can just walk over to someone's desk and ask a question.
Or even if you're used to messaging colleagues who respond within minutes.
Right. But when time zones are involved, you might send a message in the morning and not get a response until the next day.
And that doesn't mean they're ignoring you.
No, not at all. They're probably just asleep, or it's the weekend where they are, or they're outside of their working hours.
Exactly. I think we need to normalize saying, I'll get back to you during my working hours, or I'll respond when I'm online tomorrow.
That's such a good point. Setting those expectations helps everyone.
It does. You know what phrase I use a lot? No rush, whenever you get a chance.
Oh, I like that. It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. It tells the person, hey, I know we're in different time zones. I'm not expecting an instant reply.
That's being considerate, which is so important in international teams.
Definitely. Another thing to remember, different cultures have different expectations about work hours.
Oh, that's a whole topic in itself.
It really is. Some cultures have a very strong boundary between work time and personal time.
Like Germany or France, right?
Yes, in many European countries, it's pretty uncommon to send work emails after 6 p.m. or on weekends.
Whereas in other places, like Japan or South Korea, people might work longer hours and evening emails are totally normal.
Right. And in some startup cultures, especially in the US, people might check their messages at all hours.
So you really need to be aware of these differences.
Absolutely. The key is to respect everyone's boundaries and preferences.
I think this is where being direct helps. Just ask your colleagues, what are your typical working hours? Or when is the best time to reach you?
Great advice. That way you're not guessing, you're actually communicating.
Exactly. And on the flip side, be clear about your own boundaries too.
Right. If you don't want to answer emails after 7 p.m., that's totally okay. Just let people know.
You could say something like, I usually check messages until 7 p.m. my time. If you send something after that, I'll respond first thing in the morning.
Perfect. Clear communication solves so many problems.
It really does. Okay, let's talk about something practical. Recording meetings.
Oh, yes. This is a lifesaver.
It really is. When you have team members who can't join a meeting because it's the middle of the night for them, recording the meeting means they can still stay in the loop.
Stay in the loop. Another great everyday expression. It means to stay informed, to know what's happening.
Thanks for pointing that out. So yeah, if you record your meetings, people who couldn't attend can watch later.
Most video conferencing tools have this built in now. Zoom, Teams, Google Meet. They all have a record button.
Exactly. Just click record at the start of the meeting, and it captures everything. The video, audio, any screen shares, the chat.
And then you can share that recording with the team.
Right. But here's a tip. Also write a quick summary.
Oh, that's smart.
Because not everyone has time to watch a whole hour-long recording. If you send a summary with key points and timestamps, people can jump to the parts that matter to them.
For example, you might say, we discussed the new product launch from minutes 15 to 30 and marketing budget from minutes 42 to 55.
Perfect! That way, if someone only needs the marketing budget information, they can skip right to that part.
Very efficient.
Speaking of efficiency, here's another question. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Ha! Definitely a morning person. I love getting up early and getting things done.
I'm the opposite. I do my best work late at night.
And that's totally fine. But when you're working across time zones, sometimes you have to work outside your natural rhythm.
True. Like you said at the beginning, you had that 9 p.m. meeting with Tokyo.
Exactly. And I'm usually winding down by then. But you know what? That's actually a normal time for my colleagues in Tokyo. It's their morning.
Right. Your 9 p.m. is their 10 a.m. the next day.
Exactly, so for them, it's a perfectly reasonable meeting time.
I think this is where flexibility comes in. Sometimes you take the weird time slot, sometimes they do.
Fair is fair.
Exactly. And honestly, once in a while, having an evening meeting isn't that bad. Or an early morning one.
As long as it's not every day.
Right! That would be exhausting.
It would. That's why rotating meeting times is so important. We talked about that earlier.
Yes. Don't always make the same people sacrifice their sleep or their personal time.
Exactly. Share the burden.
Share the burden. I like that phrase. It means to divide the difficulty or inconvenience fairly among everyone.
Good explanation. You know, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. Let's quickly recap the main points.
Good idea. So first, when scheduling meetings across time zones, try to rotate times so it's not always convenient for the same people.
Second, always include the time zone when you mention a time. Say 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not just 3 p.m.
Third, use tools like calendar apps and World Time Buddy to make scheduling easier.
Fourth, embrace asynchronous communication. Write clear, detailed messages so people can respond when they're online.
Fifth, be patient with response times. People aren't ignoring you. They're just in a different time zone.
Sixth, respect different cultural perspectives on work hours and boundaries.
And finally, record important meetings so people who can't attend can catch up later.
Those are some solid tips right there.
They are. And honestly, I think the biggest thing is just being thoughtful and considerate.
Absolutely. Remember that there's a real person on the other end, probably trying to balance work with their family dinner or their morning coffee.
Exactly. A little empathy goes a long way.
It really does. All right, before we wrap up, let's hear from you, our listeners.
Yes! Do you work across time zones? What's your biggest challenge?
And what's your best tip for making it work? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to download the transcript and practice exercises from the description.
Those exercises will help you practice all the vocabulary and expressions we talked about today.
Plus, there are some extra tips in there that we didn't have time to cover in the podcast.
So make sure to grab those.
All right, I think that's all we have time for today.
It's been great chatting with you all.
Until next time, keep practicing your English.
And remember, working across time zones is challenging, but with the right approach, it can also be really rewarding.
Absolutely, you get to work with amazing people from all over the world.
And that's pretty special.
It is. Okay, take care, everyone.
See you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos to keep improving your English. See you next time.